Hi and welcome. We're talking agile and productivity. Welcome, Rajesh.
Thank you very much. Pleased to be here again.
Yeah, thank you everybody for the feedback and the comments. And one of the things we've been asked to talk about is Scrum meetings.
Yes.
And before we dive into the topic of Scrum meetings, we want to talk about meetings in general, because meetings are the bane of the modern worker's life.
Yes.
And 67% of meetings are considered to be failures. And 50% of meeting time is considered to be a waste of time.
Wow.
And at an individual level, 91% of people admit they daydream during meetings.
I do daydream.
And these are just meetings in general. So
Yeah.
let's drill down to a Scrum meeting. So probably the first question, Rajesh, is what is a Scrum meeting?
Well, that's a good question again. And Agile and Scrum are quite popular. They're the flavors of the month at this moment. And for the non-IT people, Scrum meetings are the daily stand-up meetings where all the group, everyone from the group, people who are working on the specific product or the project on a release, they get together for 15-20 minutes, usually 15 minutes, and they talk about what they have been doing, what they did, what they are planning to do. That's it. Yeah. They don't get into any problem-solving mode or anything. So Scrum meetings are short, to the point, focused meetings that people in the product or product team or the project team they have every day.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And when you say short, typically the duration?
15 minutes, as I said.
15 minutes,
Yes.
okay. Well, I should have been listening, shouldn't I? There I was daydreaming during the meeting.
Well, meetings, I think, look, I don't know about the percentages or the numbers that you mentioned, but in my opinion, most of the meetings, they are wasteful.
Yes.
I've seen people just looking at their phones and not really listening, not really focusing or paying attention. So
Yeah.
you're right, a majority of meetings are wasteful.
Oh, absolutely. And there's a number of techniques of driving better meetings, but maybe we'll talk about that another time.
Yes.
Because really interested in Scrum meetings. So what's the worst Scrum meeting you've ever seen, or Scrum meetings you've ever seen? Because it's often a culture
Yes,
of an organisation's
absolutely.
culture of meetings.
That's a really important point, the culture of the organization, because what I have noticed, most of those organizations where culture is hierarchical, or
Yep.
people who are not really aware of agile methodologies, or they don't have the mindset,
Yep.
meetings go on forever.
Yes.
Yeah? Talking about worst meeting is worst Scrum meeting. It went on for one of the meetings where I was just an observer as a consultant. I was doing some kind of consulting work with these guys,
Yeah.
just to observe things and provide my recommendations. So this meeting went on for 45 minutes, and they
Wow.
couldn't resolve anything in that meeting. It was one of the worst Scrum meetings I've seen.
Right.
And in my recommendation report, I told these guys that, look, this was very long meeting. No
Yeah.
one was listening. No one was paying attention.
Yeah.
Only the manager. He was talking, and he was actually commanding that meeting, which
Yes.
is again makes it ineffective.
Yeah, command and control style meeting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I bet you were biting your tongue during that 45-minute Scrum meeting.
I was indeed.
And what does a good Scrum meeting, what does it look like?
Right. So a good Scrum meeting, I would say there are certain characteristics of a good meeting or a good Scrum meeting. One, it is very focused, as I said. So try to keep it to 15 minutes or maybe even less if you can. Make sure that people or the team members are running it. One of the myths is that Scrum Master or the product owners,
Yes.
they run these meetings,
Yeah.
but they are not the managers there.
Yeah.
Scrum teams are not managed teams. We are saying these are the self-contained, self-organized teams where
Yeah.
team members are empowered to do things.
Yeah.
So Scrum meetings, good Scrum meetings, teams are running it. They are focused. They are keeping it to 15 minutes. They are not getting into the problem-solving mode.
Yeah.
I've seen meetings where people just get into, so how do you think we are going to solve this problem? So I have thought about that idea. No, stop that. Yeah, and keep it fun. Focus on the product itself, or the important items, the topics that you're discussing. And there are three main focus areas where Scrum teams focus, and these are what you did yesterday, what you're going to do today. Is there anything that is blocking your work? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can deviate from it. but this is normally people talk about.
Yeah.
In one of the teams, I remember an example where we made it fun by using our tennis ball. So instead of one person running and we delegating to everyone in a specific order, we used the tennis ball, and where whoever picked up the ball facilitated that meeting. So
Yep.
we did not have the Scrum Master facilitating. People were learning how to facilitate.
Yep.
Second, people were throwing the ball to each other, so that was keeping everyone attentive. And then when it was a fun meeting, and we kept it to 15 minutes.
Nice.
People,
nice.
when they had any major issues to solve, excuse me, they basically discussed that afterwards, because not everyone is interested in all those topics.
Yeah. One thing that I find with teams is that some people in a team are more productive than others. They get
Yes.
more done. So some people will struggle to keep up. One of the things that often concerns me with a Scrum meeting is the people who aren't keeping up, that it's a name and shame scenario. And what do you do? How to help people cope in these environments?
I would just use the term psychological safety. Psychological safety is when teams and team members are empowered enough that they are able to speak up. And this depends on the culture of the organization, culture of the
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, people are introverts. They
Yeah.
don't usually speak up. And I have dealt with so many of those.
Yeah.
So it is the role of the Scrum Master where they encourage people to speak up, encourage people to be brave and talk to the team members. It's basically the team's dynamics.
Yeah. But this is often one of the early warning signs that somebody needs help with their personal productivity.
Absolutely. But I think, I'm sorry to cut you short, but I think time is over, and we will have to discuss this as a separate topic, because this is a very long topic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Rajesh, thank you once again.
Thank you, Ben.
Anyone, if you have any comments or if you'd like to learn more, then feel free to reach out to Rajesh or myself.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for listening.